I wanted to come on today to tell you guys a story. When I was 11 years old, I was put on Adderall. I was diagnosed with ADD and ADHD and a learning disability. Do you know what Adderall is? Yes, it's a drug, but do you know what it does? Adderall stimulates the central nervous system of the body. What is our nervous system? Our nervous system is our command center. It's where we send out our signals, okay? So Adderall stimulates that. It starts to take over the body. As humans, we're not supposed to have something do that. We're in control of our body. That's what being sovereign is. And I just want to put that into perspective as we continue this story to give you something to think about. So at 11 years old, I'm put on a drug that starts to control my movements, my appetite, my thoughts, my heartbeat. I was 11. There's this one moment that I'm not going to ever forget in my life. It was when I was in high school. I was in science class and I was in the lab and I was just being myself and acting like Cass. And my teacher called me out into the hall and I was met by two deans and my counselor. And they said, "Cass, are you on drugs?" And I remember, because at this point in my life, I had never done drugs. Adderall's a drug, right? And I sat out there and I said, "No, I haven't done anything. I'm just being myself. I'm being Cass." And a couple minutes later, after they're all talking, I remember my counselor saying, "Cass, did you take your Adderall today?" And I looked at her and I said, "No. I wanted to eat today, and Adderall suppressed my appetite." And she looked at the deans, and I'll never forget her saying, "Oh, that's why." That's why what? That's why I'm acting like myself? That day, I was taken down to the nurse's office, and I was told that if I didn't take my Adderall, that I was no longer allowed in class. I was no longer allowed to come to school unless I took this drug. I remember that day because that day I went home. I went up to my room. I grabbed a pillow and I said out loud in my room, laying in bed, "No one wants me to be me. No one sees me. No one hears me. And no one acknowledges me for the love that I am, for the light that I am." And that day I consciously decided to check out of this human experience. That day I started down a 15-year pill addiction. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, that I've forgiven myself for. I hurt a lot of people. I hurt myself over and over again. And I became someone that I didn't recognize in the mirror. I became a character in my story that I didn't know how to play. Now, fast forward to being 25. I'm working at a job that I'm not happy with, that I'm only working at to fuel my addiction. I'm in a toxic, abusive relationship, and I'm just completely disconnected from myself. On April 7th, 2013, I was working when my manager told me that my brother Blake was on the phone. I took the phone, I went into the bathroom, and I was staring at myself in the mirror when I heard Blake say, "Cass, I don't know how to tell you this, but Jason died. He overdosed." That moment, I will never forget in my whole life, because that moment I fell to my knees, and the moment my knees hit that floor, it was like I felt for the first time in 15 years, and I felt my heart break. I felt just how long I had been numb to this life. That was a big reality check. That moment was a catalyst for me to get sober, and I did. It took me a month to get sober. A month later, I went back to the same job. with the same people, the same environment, and I wasn't strong enough. I didn't have tools. I had a couple drinks that night. I got behind the wheel of a car. I was driving down the highway, and a car got in my lane. And instead of wanting to hit them, I turned the wheel to the right, and I didn't stop. I accelerated into a ditch, going over 110 miles per hour. I flipped 7 times, hit a tree, and flipped over a 5-foot fence. And I'm here. I'm here now. When I woke up in that hospital bed, I said to myself, this character I'm playing is not working anymore. This addict who's in pain and suffering and doesn't tell anybody, who's hurting people and hurting themselves, this character just, it's not working. I don't know how to play this character. And so that day I chose to play the character of love now. The deepest form of love. And has it been easy? No. Life isn't easy. This human experience is not easy. But we didn't come here for easy, did we? We came here for an experience.